Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Chelsea and I am the homeschool mama to 6. Well, the youngest is 3 months old almost, so he doesn't really homeschool, but he's here with us, and that's kind of the point of today's video, is homeschooling with a newborn who just sneezed and sneezed again and sneezed again. Anyway, he's asleep in a little rocker right here next to me. I actually had sat down with him and I was going to film his 3-month update that I keep putting off. And he decided that he really wanted to take a nap. He'd been awake for a long time. I thought I could squeeze it in. I could not squeeze it in. He needed a nap, so I put him to sleep. And so now I figured I already had my tripod up and everything, and this video had been requested, so I might as well sit down and film that, which kind of can be my first point of homeschooling with a newborn, is to be flexible. So sit down to do one thing, baby wasn't up for that. I switched gears to another thing, and it doesn't have to be stressful. So that is important to remember when homeschooling with a newborn. So like I said, I have 6 kiddos. So I have 5 other kiddos, and their ages are 5, 6, 9, just in a few days 12, and 13. So I got lots of kiddos to help do school with, lots of kiddos to read with and write with and all those things that us homeschool mamas have to do. And then, you know, I have a newborn. So he's not always on plan with our schedule, and that's okay, because one of the wonderful things about homeschooling is the flexibility and the freedom you have with that. So don't let yourself get bogged down, frustrated, stressed out, anxious about your schedule. And I know some of us are type A people. I used to be one. Homeschooling has helped me greatly to overcome that. And we all homeschool differently, but I like to homeschool kind of in a rhythm rather than a schedule. So if I really want to sit down and I'm going to help Violet with math, and maybe we're doing really hands-on math, maybe we're measuring things, maybe we're using counting blocks, things like that, but all of a sudden the baby's really fussy or the baby needs to eat, I obviously can't then at that time use blocks or measuring because I need to go and feed the baby. So I would change. I'd be like, okay, you know what, right now I can't measure or build blocks with you, so this would leave 2 opportunities. One would be an older sibling would have the chance to come and teach, which they love, and it actually helps to build their skills as well, and they're also building a good relationship with the younger siblings. Or 2, if maybe I feel like I really need to be the one to do that, or maybe the younger child really wants me to be the one to do that, or no older siblings are available, I can say, hey, let's hold off on that for a minute. Why don't you come read to me while I feed the baby? So you have to be flexible with your schedule when you have a newborn or a baby, a toddler even, until that child's old enough to really understand, like, hey, we're gonna sit here, we're gonna be at the table for a little bit, here's you something to color. Until they're at that age, and that's different for every child, you just have to be flexible and you know, take a breath, count to 10. It's all going to get done one way or the other. It's not a big deal if reading comes before math, or math before reading, or maybe it happens later in the day when your husband's at home, or however your husband's schedule is. It's going to get done. They're going to learn. It's going to be okay. So calm down and be flexible is a really big tip. Second tip, which first tip kind of ended on there by saying, hey, maybe come read to me instead, is use that rocking chair to your advantage. This is my 3rd newborn to homeschool with. We started homeschooling when Liam was around 1, so I've homeschooled with him as a toddler, but newborn wise, this is my 3rd. And I learned way back with my first newborn who I was homeschooling with, and I was also put on bed rest after she was born, so this really forced this on me, is you can school a lot from a rocking chair. Like I said, when I had my Violet, was my first newborn to homeschool with, and I was on bed rest after having her because I had preeclampsia. And it lasted even after she was born. So I had to sit down. And so we did a lot of school, which I know now I probably should have just given myself more time off. But like I said, I used to be really type A, and I have really kind of swung the pendulum to the other side from homeschooling. But anywho, use the rocking chair to your advantage. You can get so much done in that rocking chair. Your little ones can come sit next to you. Mine like to sit on the little arm and read to me. If that bothers you, you know, maybe you can't handle, or maybe it's bothering the baby, that's too much going on, pull a dining room chair over, pull a bench over, whatever you need to do, and you can rock the baby, you can nurse the baby with your little kid or older kid, whatever, reading to you. Also, like maybe my 13-year-old, she needs to go over her math problems, but maybe I need to be feeding or rocking the baby. She can hand me my teacher book She's big. She's able to do that. She can get her book, sit down on the couch, and I can rock that baby or feed that baby and go over her problems with her. And you know, she can bring over her little whiteboard and I can write and rock a baby if I need to, or she can, and we can go over the problems. What did you get right? What did you get wrong? Why? All of that. Read aloud times. Our homeschool is really heavy on the read alouds. That is like our spine. We use books, living books. I can do all of that from a rocking chair. I can read. And you know what? Nowadays we have smartphones, laptops, Alexas, YouTube. Again, all this can be done on my rocking chair. So maybe our chapter that we're reading, we get done and we need to look up how cobblers make shoes. I'm right there. I can turn on a TV and look that up. I can get a laptop out, you know, while I'm feeding the baby, or an older kid can. If you have older kids, use those older kids, yay! And look all that up, or your phone, whatever you have. So much can be done from the rocking chair, so much. And if you know, like, hey, I'm gonna need my little ones to be busy playing with Play-Doh or something so I can rock the baby so that I can help my older child with something. Have those things easily accessible for your younger kids. I like to have like little clear plastic totes with Play-Doh in it. I like rocks with little shovels and all kinds of things for my little ones that I can easily pull out, or where they can pull it out themselves and they can stay busy and play with that, so I can rock or feed the baby while I help bigger kids. That helps tremendously. So first thing is be flexible. Second thing is use that rocking chair. Third thing would be to plan around nap times. Now, newborns sleep a lot, so that makes it really easy, right? You can lay them in their cradle, you can carry them in your arms. They're tiny, they fit right there. You can wear them in a baby carrier. Big tip, get a baby carrier. I'm just gonna throw that out. Not much to say about that. If you can put them in a carrier, you can walk around that table and help. You can go out on your nature walks. You can be cooking biscuits with your little ones. You know, math has to do with cooking, doing all that stuff in the baby carrier. So yes, get a baby carrier. But the main tip there was incorporate your nap times. Think about that, plan around that. So newborns sleep a lot. So whether they're in a carrier, in your arms, in one of their Moses baskets, rockers, bouncers, swings, whatever gadget you have. Maybe it's on the couch next to you and you're gonna sit on the couch and talk. I like to put my little bouncer or Moses basket on the table, and they can sleep in that while I'm helping other ones. Maybe it's a crib in a different room and you have a baby monitor. But think about those nap times and try to do your harder subjects during those nap times. The subjects that are going to take the most amount of time. Maybe it's just because it's really hands-on and you're going to need both those hands and all your attention, or maybe it's because your child is really struggling in that subject and you need your full attention to go to that, and you can't have your attention split off with this really hard topic and baby. So think about when those nap times are. I'm not a scheduler. I'm a go with the flow, pay attention to rhythms type person. But even if you don't schedule, you know when a natural rhythm comes for nap times, and after, you know, just a couple of months, you'll be able to tell when your baby likes to nap. Like for Hudson, he wakes up and he's awake for a long stretch of time in the morning. Then he takes a little nap, is up for a little bit, and then a long nap, and then he's up for a long time in the evening, little nap, up for a little bit, bedtime. So he has his own little rhythm, and I will work with that if I know, like, hey, my little ones really need help with this project. It's going to be a science experiment. I want both my hands, you know, that kind of thing. I'll try to do that when I know he's going to take a nap. But again, go back to your first point of be flexible, because sometimes nap times don't go the way they should. Sometimes the baby is teething, sometimes the baby is sick, sometimes the baby is just having a day where they want to be held. Sometimes schedules get thrown off, so don't get too hooked on, oh, gotta keep putting them down, keep putting them down, keep putting them down. If it's not gonna work, switch topics. You can do that project, that subject, whatever, tomorrow. It's all gonna work out. I promise it'll be okay. But anyway, so think about nap times and try to plan around that. I lost track of what number we're on, but another tip would be, if you have a spouse who is able to help at all. My husband works in the evenings into night, so he's home in the morning. So if I know I really need to do something where I need the baby to be held, or I just need help, he can help. He can hold a baby. He knows how. He knows how to rock a baby, but also he knows how to help in school. So if I really feel like I'm going to need help that day, I can always be like, hey, sometime this week, Liam might have a project. He's wanting to really build something that a kid wants to build. He really wants to build a birdhouse. Is there a time in your week that you could maybe help Liam build that birdhouse because he wants to work on his measuring? You know, and open that conversation up. And they might be really busy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe you had that planned for Wednesday, but again, you're gonna go back to the first point because that's like the biggest one, and he might only have time on Friday. And so, okay, I'm gonna schedule that in for Friday. Always schedule things in pencil. That's just homeschool tip for no matter how old your kids are. But yeah, use your spouse, not use them, that sounds funny, but incorporate them if they're able to and interested. Some spouses are not able to, they work too much, they don't have enough time, they're tired, and you know, maybe they're just not interested, and everyone's different, and that's okay. But if you can incorporate your spouse into it, I find that they find it fun. I know Aaron finds it fun. We do Bible time all together, and he really enjoys that, and it just kind of is a really good start to our day. But if you can bring him in to help, that takes a little bit of load off of you, whether they're helping with the baby or helping with the project. Another thing, homeschooling with newborns, is you're going to be more tired, okay? You just are, because you have a little baby. So for like a year, you're going to be tired. And to remember that you're tired and that you deserve just as much love as you're giving out. As moms, we give out a lot of love. We get out a lot of time, if I can talk. We give out a lot of attention. So you're pouring and pouring and pouring all day, and I'll bet you money you go to bed feeling a little like poured out, empty, touched out, all those things. Remember that you're tired, you're working hard, and you need to always put back. So give yourself grace. If your baby kept you up all night, because sometimes newborns do that, sometimes for a reason, sometimes not for a reason. Some babies are really colicky. Oh my goodness, my last baby, she's 5 now, but y'all, she's still kind of hard to deal with. But she was a colicky baby. I was exhausted, and I gave myself some grace, yes, but looking back, I don't think I gave myself enough. And I can feel like I can see now, having Hudson, where I was a little hard on myself with my other kiddos and homeschooling with a newborn. Give yourself grace. If your baby was up all night long screaming, you know, maybe you had planned for Tuesday to be a really good school day. You went to bed with the best of intentions, awesome goals. You were gonna smash it, but you wake up with a headache, you can barely see out your eyes, you got milk on your shirt, the baby's still not happy, the kids all want cookies for breakfast. You can just keep going down the list. That ain't your day, mama, but you can make it your day, right? You can be like, okay, first off, I need to collect myself, okay? If your spouse is home or an older kid, go take yourself a shower, fix yourself a cup of coffee. If you don't make sure you feel good, you're not gonna make sure your kids feel good. And that's the main thing of homeschooling, is family, right? Connection, love. It's not ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. It's making sure we're all learning how to be a good, healthy family unit. They're watching you. They're watching you to see how to act when they're grown up. If they see you allowing yourself to just run around ragged and just, oh, you feel awful, but you're not gonna go take care of yourself, you're just gonna complain about it all day. That's not teaching them how to behave. That's not teaching them how to act as an adult or how to act now. So if you're having one of those days, calm down, take a breath. It doesn't mean your whole day has to be scratched, but you need to give yourself the grace that if it does need to be scratched, you're gonna be okay. And you're gonna make little arrows in your planner that have all these great plans for today that's Monday. You're gonna point little arrows over to Tuesday, because there's 365 days in a year, and I'm pretty sure in almost all states, you're supposed to homeschool for 180 days if you have a law. Some states don't. My state's very relaxed. But there's 365 days in a year. Most states, it's 180. You'll get there. And guess what? You can school on a Saturday if you need to. But back to my point, if you had a really rough night, do what you can to get yourself together. Maybe you only have a 6-year-old and a newborn. Obviously, it's gonna be really hard for you to take a shower. I've done it. You plop the 6-year-old down with a coloring book, you put the newborn in a bouncer, and you hurry and you sponge bathe. But maybe you can't. So maybe you're just gonna go and you're gonna freshen up, get a baby wipe, wipe yourself down, change your clothes, brush your teeth, make a cup of coffee, feed everyone a breakfast. If you don't have the energy to really cook a breakfast, you know, pop some cereal in a bowl for the kids, have a big kid help you, put some nutritious things inside of you. Oh, if you're a Christian, you know, go read your Bible. Maybe you're someone who likes to meditate for a minute. Do what you can to collect yourself, give yourself that grace, give yourself that love, time, and attention that you're gonna later need to give to your kids. Put that all up inside you. And then, you know what, if you feel okay, think, okay, what's the easiest subject? What do I find the most fun? And do that first. Because if that's all that happens, at least it got done, and it's going to be easier because you picked the easier one or the most fun one, right? So maybe you're just going to do Bible that morning. Check that off your list. See how you feel. Maybe take the kids for a walk. Maybe decide to turn on an educational show on the TV and kind of doze with your baby for a minute. Do what you can to make it work and slowly check those things off. Whatever can't get checked off, make your little arrow for the next day and give yourself grace. Because again, if you don't give it to yourself, you can't give it to anybody else, at least not very well. And I know that's sometimes easier said than done, but we just gotta try our best, mamas. Gotta try our best. So that's another big tip. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would say. You know, baby wearing, rocking chair, I covered all that. Still, you can still do field trips and all those fun things. Like I said, baby carrier, stroller, get outside. I find that sometimes with a newborn, you feel kind of trapped inside. You need that sunlight, so does your baby, so do your kids. They need to get energy out. So even if you just go sit and you sit at your little table you have outside, if you have a little table, a little rocker, whatever you have, let your kiddos play in the good old dirt and mud and have a good time, enjoy that sun. Make sure you're getting outside some, it really will help. Even if it's winter, bundle up, go for a little walk, go for a little drive. Just really try to keep your mental health up with a newborn. And you know, you'll feel better and you'll be able to give out better. Another thing is, if you have time, take off as much time as you have, as much time as you feel okay with, as much time as you need. Every baby is different. So like Hudson was only, what was he, 3 weeks, 4 weeks old? 4 weeks old, yeah. His fifth week old, 5 weeks. We started back to school. My husband had gone back to work and we started back to school and it went well, but I have a lot of older kids. I have a lot of, you know, in that, because I have older kids, I have a lot of helpers, and we started back very lightly. And like, our homeschool is not that stressful now. But if you're beginning, it's your first year, it might seem more stressful. But like I said, you have Saturdays, you have Sundays, you can homeschool any time of the day, you have all year long. So if you have the time to give yourself and you need it, don't feel bad and don't feel guilty, but give yourself that time. So maybe you're gonna wait till they're 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. Maybe you need to wait that long. Maybe you had, you know, a cesarean and you need more time to heal. Maybe you have a really colicky baby and you're just really tired, you need more time. That's okay. If you can, if in your state it's possible to give yourself that time, please do so. I know in some states it's not, and I just don't know if you're in a state that that's not possible, you have to keep on going with their schedule. Or I know this year there's a lot of virtual schooling happening at home where you couldn't do that, you couldn't take more time. All I can say is ask for help. Don't feel bad about that. And, you know, try your best. Like I said, try to get your rest, stay hydrated, and ask for help when you can in those situations where you can't give yourself extra time. But there's no rush if you're in a state where you can to get started back. Learning always happens. It happens every day, whether you pull out a school book or not. Learning's gonna happen. Your kids are all gonna know how to read and write. They're all gonna do great. But they'll really benefit from seeing you take care of yourself. They'll really benefit from seeing you taking good care of the baby, and they'll of course benefit from you taking good care of them. So yeah, I think those are my biggest tips. I don't know how many that was, 6, 7 maybe, for homeschooling with a newborn. I hope it helps. If you have homeschooled with a newborn and you want to leave your suggestions down in the comments, that would be wonderful, so that way other people watching this video, I'm sure they will scroll down and read those, and all the help we can give to other mamas, we should give. So, and maybe I will of course read the comments. Maybe it'll be something that I haven't thought of that might really help me. You guys always have great ideas whenever I'm doing any kind of sit down and chit chat video. Sometimes you guys just leave the best ideas. You always encourage me. You're also sweet, also way too sweet than I could even imagine people being, because sometimes on the internet you get some mean people. You guys are always wonderful. But anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling. I'm gonna go. I keep looking at Hudson. He's just sleeping away over here. I could be like folding laundry or something, you know? Gotta use that nap time. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, a wonderful homeschool year, praying that everything just goes smooth, that lots of fun happens, lots of loving goes on, lots of learning happens, and that you feel good with your homeschool year, because that's what's important. is that you and your kids feel good with what you've accomplished. Doesn't really matter what you see on Instagram or YouTube. Your school is all about what you want it to be about. So anyway, go have fun with that, and we'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.